In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist Podcast, it's question and answer time. We have some questions that have come in through to me through social media and some other sources. So we're going to just answer some listener questions, and we'll see what happens, because who knows? Who knows what those answers will be?
You piqued my interest, my friend.
Yeah, we will see.
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, people? It's David Wright, and we are back again with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist Podcast.
I got questions. Oh, I'm sorry.
You
have questions.
We do have questions. There are a lot of, we do have some questions. We're here in the Podcast Detroit Northville studios. Matt is with me as usual.
Yes, thanks for having me here.
He asks questions from the booth.
From the booth.
From the booth.
Oh, good for you.
Sometimes I ask him questions from out here.
You have a brain like a chicken.
Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
Well, I was referring to myself. So,
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Why so serious?
So let me tell you where you can find me, folks, before we get on to our can we call it the mailbag? It's not really a bag, but
Mailbox?
I don't know. I'll have to think of a term for this, since the first time we've did questions.
Mail carriers?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
we'll have to think about that.
Internets?
What in blazes are you talking about?
I don't know.
Where'd these
Let's move on with it.
Where'd these questions come from?
I got a couple from email. I got a couple through Facebook.
Okay.
I feel like there was another source that I got one from.
From your Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay.
One of my Facebook pages, because
Okay.
I have like my personal page, my Motor City Hypnotist, my counseling and therapy,
Oh, my goodness.
Empower Your Mind for Success, my marketing page. I probably have like 6 or 8 linked pages with different stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, that's yeah.
Fair enough.
Way to go, Facebook.
All right. So, yeah, when you read the questions, I'd like to know the names of these people, too, if you're able to.
You know what? I do. I can do that.
Yeah. Whether it be their handle or what have you.
That's a good. Yes, because I do have some of them. I don't think I have complete names on some of them, which
All right.
I wouldn't want to call them out
No.
totally by full names.
Yeah,
but
first name, last initial. Yeah, that works.
if it's Harry Balls, I'm not. That can't be somebody real. So
Right.
that would not work. So let me tell you where to find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. You can find the podcast page there, along with a whole bunch of other cool stuff, including clips from shows. My store, which has full show videos from the past, since I've been out of business, or MIA, since COVID hit.
Right.
I'm going through show withdrawals. I need to get on stage here soon. Yeah, it's
That's not how it works.
yeah. Right now, that's not how it works. But hopefully, we will get back to that.
All right.
You can find me on social media, on Facebook and YouTube, Motor City Hypnotist, on Twitter, Motor City Hypno, and on Instagram at Motor City Hypno. And also, I have an account on Patreon, which is a creator site, and listeners can help support the channel or the creator by giving monthly donations. And on my channel, you can get things such as a T-shirt, coffee mug. We'll call it swag. You can get Motor City Hypnotist swag. Because when you say swag, that always seems better,
Yeah. Well, I actually have a shirt that says "Swag Me" on the back, so
I ain't listening to you no more.
no, you don't want to. No,
right. And as usual, every episode, there's links for a free hypnosis guide. And also, I did this on last podcast episode. We're also giving away my new Hypnosis for Confidence MP3. And I want to mention this up front. You can also find me or join us on my Facebook group, which is a private group. But if you come through the link through the show notes, you'll just have to answer a question or two, and then I permit you access. But the group is Empower Your Mind for Success. And it's really kind of a main group for me to connect with listeners and other contexts I have. And specifically, I'm working on a program at some point that will be out there. Of course, it will be called Empower Your Mind for Success, a hypnotic guide. So that group is going to be part of that support system for that course when it comes out. But right now, I will have the link for that group because, again, come and join us. We can talk. We can ask questions. We can interact. All that kind of good stuff.
Cool.
It is. Winner of the week time.
All right.
That's how winning is done.
All right. Winner. And I never know how to pronounce these winners. Can't have names like Jim Smith.
No,
or
no.
Joe Jones.
Or Harry Balls. No.
No. So Steve Montanlago may not think he's a hero, but the 3 people he's rescued over the last 20 years might beg to differ.
3 people he's rescued over the past 20 years?
Yes.
All right.
So that already had my attention when I found the story.
All right. I'm curious.
I don't consider myself a hero, he told KOVR. I was just a fella that got put in the right place at the right time. So Joe, or Steve, I'm saying Joe because we were making up names. Steve Montalongo is 80 years old.
Okay.
And last week, he leapt into action in California and pulled a man from his car after the man accidentally drove it into a canal,
Oh, wow.
according to the NBC affiliate KCRA. That rescue mission, pulling this man from a car after it went into the water, came nearly 20 years after he pulled 2 of his neighbors to safety from their burning home.
Jeez.
So 20 years ago, he rescues these people from a burning house, and then now at 80, he jumps into this canal to rescue this guy that drove off in his car. It's just great. It's great. The guy's 80.
Jesus.
I mean, yeah, it's great. Montalongo said he was taking his granddaughter home from the dentist on Thursday, and they stopped at a traffic light. And the daughter said, "Oh, my God, a car just went into the canal, Grandpa," he recalled. So Montalongo pulled over and jumped into action immediately as water had begun rushing into the car and the driver was trapped.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
80 years old, and he's swimming,
Yeah.
he's going under the water. All right.
He said the canal was about 10 feet. No, he went into the canal. I think he's meaning it's 10 feet away. He said, "I managed to open the door. It was unlocked. Thank God for that. But the water rushed in faster. He was able to yank the panicking man from the car by his shirt."
Oh, my God.
So okay, if they mentioned this 80-year-old pulling, and this guy in the car was, the driver was a 62-year-old, Jack Swartz, who apparently had the reason he went into the canal, he suffered some kind of medical issue.
Oh, okay.
They didn't say specifically,
Okay.
but he had a medical episode. So yeah, this 80-year-old is physically pulling this guy out of his car in a canal in the water.
God love him for that.
And 20 years after, he saved his neighbors from their burning house. So that is why, yeah. And I'll have the link to this story in the show notes. It's like a three-page story, but it's great because this guy's just so unassuming. He's like, "I'm not a hero. I'm just in the right place at the right time."
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug, though.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, especially I hope I have that when I'm 80.
Right?
So that's why, Steve Montalongo, you are our winner of the week.
That's how winning is done.
That is. It's 80-year-old Steve Montalongo. Good job.
Well done.
Yes. So we have questions.
Oh, great Odin's raven.
Yes. So these questions came to me through a variety of sources. Some through email, some through social media.
Right.
I was thinking I think one of these came through Instagram, I believe,
Okay.
or possibly could have been, or Twitter, possibly.
All right.
I have so many social media channels because of my work and businesses that to keep them straight sometimes it's a mess. So the first one, and I would start with, I try to put them in order of kind of the basics first, I guess.
Sure.
So the first question didn't have a name on it, or it didn't print on the when I looked it up. One of the questions was how does hypnosis work? And this is a general type of question I get quite often, because people will be interested, and they'll be like, "Well, I'm interested, but how does it work?" Because they're kind of fearful, kind of a little bit.
I don't want to do something that I don't have control of. Yeah.
And I can make it easy for you and go back and watch episodes 1 and 2 of our podcast, which was called The Secrets of Hypnosis 1 and 2.
Right.
And I go into very big detail, but I can simply say how it works is you're relaxing your body and your mind. And when your mind is relaxed, you can tap into your subconscious, which is where all of your habits are stored. And then we give suggestions to that subconscious part of your mind, which makes permanent changes once you're in a waking state.
Interesting. Yeah, that's exactly what.
In a nutshell, that's what it is. And a lot of things go in to make that happen, but that is the basics of it. So number 1, that was an easy one.
Like this in the background. What the fuck is it with you?
So the next question, and this is one I often get, like, especially if I'm traveling. I don't know why. This has happened more than once on a plane to me, or I'll have a conversation with somebody next to me, a stranger that I don't know, and I'll tell them what I do, and I guarantee almost every time the question is, "Oh, is hypnosis real?
Yeah.
Is that real?"
I don't know.
I ain't listening to you no more.
I don't know. Are you feeling sleepy?
Well, yeah. and I can't take credit for this. My buddy Richard Barker, he does this whole thing on when he does a stage show where he goes through this. He says, a lot of people ask me, "Is hypnosis real?" And I'm like, "No." He says, "No, it's fake." He said, "I've been faking it for 20 years and nobody's caught me yet." So he kind of gives that funny response to it, but yeah, it is real. And really, the main way I can answer this is that everyone experiences a state of hypnosis at some point. And in fact, at least twice per day, once when you go to bed and once when you wake up. Because in both of those times, your brain passes through the theta brainwave state. And that's where the mind is relaxed and your conscious mind is shut off and quiet, and you have access to your subconscious memory or subconscious mind. So everybody goes through a stage of that. If you're watching a movie, we were just talking, Matt and I were just talking about catching up on some series or some TV shows.
Yeah.
If you're just locked into a TV show or a movie and everything else is gone, everything else is just, you don't hear anything else, you're in a state of hypnosis. If you're listening to music and
same thing,
you're just into it, that's a state of hypnosis. If you're daydreaming, if you're just drifting off at your desk and just looking out the window and you're in another world, that's a state of hypnosis. So we all go through it. So yes, it is real, and it happens to everyone, and we can use that state to make positive changes. So yes, it is real.
Ask Freud, he'll tell you.
And that was from Kristen M. Yeah, Freud will tell you, even though he botched it at first.
Stop it.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it anymore. Okay, this one's from Jerry C. Can anyone be hypnotized? So I kind of went into that with a little bit with the last answer, because this is another question I get. And it's typically somebody who will say to me something to the effect of, "Oh, I can't be hypnotized. I've tried." Or someone's tried before and I can't do it. And what I say to them is, you can do it. You just have to be in the right state, in the right state of mind, in the right environment, with the right person. I believe everybody can get there. Now, I've heard arguments to the contrary from some other professionals. But for me, my belief is everybody can be given the right situation and the right focus and the right mindset.
Gotcha.
So I would say yes, anyone can be hypnotized. And what I would say is that there are levels of hypnosis. There are levels of trance, or what we call trance, which is relaxation. Some people are immediately able to go to that deepest level instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because their brain is I'm not going to say it's pre-wired that way, but their brain and their personality are such that they can just let it go that quick. Other people take a long time to get there and just to be able to let go.
To be completely honest with you, David, I have never been hypnotized.
Okay.
And because it's just never happened to me.
Right.
I've always been able to hypnotize myself, the slow breathing, music, what have you, but I'm susceptible because I do it myself.
Well, yeah, and especially if you do it yourself.
Right.
And those of you who've ever done meditation, same thing.
I think I'd be out like a light. I think I'd get into that relaxation point almost immediately.
And typically, I ask this of clients when they come in, like if somebody's coming in for their first hypnosis session, I always ask them, do you have any experience with meditation or any type of yoga, any type of martial arts? Because if you have experience in these areas, you know what it is to have to quiet your body and your mind.
Sure.
That's all part of it. And if you can do that, that's you're really, honestly, you're there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure we could do you quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be instant.
That's what she said.
What in blazes are you talking about?
Sorry.
I don't know. It's crazy. Okay. So that was Can Anyone Be Hypnotized? That was from Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Oh, shoot. Read my writing. Oh, it says Amy. Amy R. I look like Army, and I was getting confused. Is hypnosis dangerous?
If you're driving, yeah.
Well, yeah. And I guess this is situational because you can say, drinking milk is dangerous. If you're,
waking up in the morning is dangerous.
Right.
There's a risk to everything.
So I get the meaning of the question. Is it dangerous to be hypnotized? And no, it's not. Now I will say, and this is, and we can go back on many of our episodes where we've talked about ab reactions and people having bad reactions, but that could happen. Let's put it in context. A lot of people can be watching television and a show or a movie and a scene, something will click in their mind that they relate to something, and they can have an ab reaction right there and have an emotional response to it.
Right.
So in a sense that is it dangerous? No. There's no way it can hurt you, or it may. There is a slight possibility, and I say slight because it doesn't happen very often. There's a slight possibility that it could bring up some bad feelings or feelings from your past, which is a possibility.
Like the 10 movies that'll make you cry.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It brings up that emotion.
I'm just thinking about it. Like, darn it.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Hey, we really did.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
So Amy, is it dangerous? No. Now it can be. How do I say misused? And we've seen stories. I'm sure you've seen stories on the news of, hypnotists or woman sexually attacked when hypnotized. But that I take the hypnosis out of it. That's just a bad human being, and that could be a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer. It doesn't matter what they're doing.
Morality comes into it at that point.
It has nothing to do with the process of hypnosis. He just happened to be a turd human being. Yeah. And so it's not dangerous. Long story short, it's not dangerous. There are a lot of concerns because of what's in media and the portrayal of it, but no, it's not dangerous. You're simply relaxing your body and your mind. As dangerous as that is, it's not.
No.
Yeah. Cool.
Like it.
So something that kind of goes along with that a little bit, Tom said something, can hypnosis make me do things I don't want to do? Simple answer is no, it cannot. Now we can get into debate and conversations about this, because somebody could say, well, if you hypnotize me, will you make me do something I don't want to do? And I'll say, well, no, because you always have a choice.
Right.
And I say this especially on stage shows. And, well, I do it with my individual clients too. Mm-hmm. I want people to feel comfortable, and I want them to have fun. So if I'm asking for volunteers, I always tell them, you're not ever going to do something you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. You always have a choice.
You know, there are movies out there, like the movie Get Out.
Yes, yep, and I think we brought that up before.
The spoon around the teacup, and
and him being locked and not able to get out.
Yeah,
yeah, and that freaks people out, I think.
Yeah,
and I will say it's there is that portrayal that, oh, you can be hypnotized to like kill someone, or
This is not. We are not in the wonderful wizarding world of Harry Potter here.
Right,
okay?
Exactly. So no, it simply put, it can't make you do things you don't want to do. Now, there are situations where you might be more apt to do things that you might not normally do, and I say that carefully. But I always use this comparison carefully. It's like having a couple of drinks. You're just your inhibitions are lowered.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not going to make you go from, this mild-mannered person who's never. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, because I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen on stage. I've had, and this is the great thing about stage shows too, is that I can show people, like, you can get the shyest, most reserved person, and when I get them in hypnosis, oftentimes they become a star of the show. They will dance, they will sing, they will.
Wow.
And it's almost like they're able to play that role because they're given the freedom to do it.
Ah, okay.
And think about that. Maybe those are things that you wouldn't want to do, but deep down, you want to do them. You're just fearful of doing them.
And you're in such a relaxed state of mind that you have no fear to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're able to just be yourself. And we said that earlier, something about being yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalie, is hypnosis like sleep? I get why that's asked, because we use this term. Excuse me. We use a term, especially when I'm doing shows, that when I'm getting people into that relaxed state, I say sleep. We use that term. It doesn't mean the sleep that we all know and that we all do every night. It's just an interchangeable and easy term to use. So the only way that it's like sleep is that your mind is relaxed.
Got it.
So think about this, and it's hard to imagine this if you haven't experienced it. Think about your body relaxing and your mind. Well, this is something we all have experienced, I think. Your body is tired and it's relaxed, but your mind won't shut off. That's when people get insomnia, and they just. But has it ever happened the other way around? Have you ever shut your mind off and your body is still awake?
Go. Yeah.
So in a sense, think about that. The mind's quieted down, but you're still now using your conscious mind at the same time. And that's when you can be, what's the word? I say it's not like sleep, but you're relaxing your mind. So you're getting there. It's a steps towards sleep.
There are different levels of sleep. You got your your brain is shutting down. Then you get into the REM. So yeah, I don't think hypnosis can get you into that REM state.
No, because at that point you would have rapid. But I will say some of the physical characteristics do come out under hypnosis. Oh. Sometimes you do get rapid eye movement.
Really?
Although you're not in that REM stage of sleep.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's almost like a, and I don't want to call it a trick because that makes it sound trivial, but it is almost a way to kind of fool your mind to think you're in that relaxed state to sleep, but you're not going that far.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So This one didn't have a name. I don't know where that one came from.
This is the Harry Balls one. Okay.
What does hypnosis feel like?
That's an interesting question.
It feels like, and I'm going to use my buddy Richard's answer for this.
Okay.
Because I've heard him do his stage intro a million times. He has this little statement that he does is like, hypnosis doesn't feel like anything. It feels like the air you breathe.
Mm-hmm.
That there's no feeling to it.
It's still an interesting question.
It is.
Yeah.
Because people who haven't experienced it want to know.
Right.
So my long, I guess, hopefully long answer short is that it depends. It depends on who the person is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an individual experience for everyone. Just like when people meditate, people get different, they experience that differently.
Right.
I can tell you what it feels like for me when I'm in a state of hypnosis. I feel like, and it's hard to describe in words. It's hard to put it, but it's almost like I feel like I'm deeper, like I'm deep inside myself, and my conscious part is way out front.
Okay. Is it more of a peaceful feeling, or
Yes, just like totally, because at that point you're totally relaxed, and your mind is relaxed. And I distinctly remember I volunteered for a show for another hypnosis friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I'm on stage, and it's weird because there's kind of this duality, because I know that I could just come out of it whenever I wanted, but I choose not to because it feels good to be in that state.
Mm-hmm.
And he came behind me, and he was giving people directions on what to do, like especially the individual, when we say individual callbacks, like I'm going to say a word, you're going to respond. But that's different for everybody. So you got to kind of keep track when you have 25 people.
Right.
So he got lost somewhere, and he didn't know what he asked the other guy next to me to do.
Oh, no.
And because I knew him, he kind of put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Hey, what did I give this guy?" And I swear, I was so focused on my own, in my own self, I had no idea, even though it was right. Like, it was just not there.
What did you tell him? Anything?
I just said, I don't know. Really, it was like I was just so deep and relaxed. It's like I didn't even want to answer him.
All right.
Yeah.
Big help you
I'm like,
are.
I don't know. And then I think he just went, oh, shit. And then he just moved on. And I think and it's great because it's things like that the audience never knows. They never know. And that, I'll give you a little stage insight as a bonus.
Yeah.
Stage hypnotists, we can make mistakes a lot, and the audience would never know.
Okay.
That's an example where I will give somebody a I think I told somebody I do and this is a common one for all the hypnotists. Whenever I say my name, you're going to jump up, slap your thigh, and say, "Who's your daddy?"
Ah, okay.
So that's a common one. But at one point, I think it was, I don't know what I told him, but I didn't tell him the correct thing. Uh-oh. So he slapped he went, yeehaw, and I was confused for a minute because sometimes you chain these reactions together. Like if he says something, somebody else is supposed to react to that, and it's like dominoes.
Right.
And when you get a break in the link, so I just laughed, and I'm like, yeah, and I just said to the audience, sometimes things just don't happen the way they're supposed to, But they don't really know. They don't know. So
you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. Next question comes from. There's no name on this one. Can you get stuck in hypnosis? Okay. Long story short, no.
Okay.
This came up. We addressed this. Look back at the podcast, Hypnosis Gone Wrong. Mm-hmm. And there can be an emotional attachment there because it feels good, but you cannot get stuck regardless of what people have said.
Right.
Or what news stories have said in the past. Getting stuck in hypnosis is like saying you can get stuck in a daydream and not be able to get out.
Right.
You choose when you're done. You choose when you want to be done, and you're able to do it.
Right.
And I'm going to make it that clear because that's always been one of those things that just comes up. Like, you go back and listen to that episode. Hypnosis gone wrong,
Yep.
and I will give you the whole breakdown of why this can't happen.
That was the cat that hypnotized a crowd of
he
people?
He tried to take on the whole crowd,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
didn't go well.
Yeah.
And in that case, there was an emotional reaction that kind of that spread like fire once
Yeah.
it started.
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
I'll do one more because I know we have a few. Let me do this one. How did you start? And I guess I'm saying, how did you start with hypnosis?
Yeah.
When I graduated from school 100 years ago, I was doing therapy. That's what I'm licensed and went to school for. So I always used like relaxation techniques and meditation and guided imagery and the language of just relaxing and refocusing your thoughts and taking deep breaths. And honestly, I just thought this is very similar. This is pretty much I'm 3/4 of the way to hypnosis, so I might as well just get certified. And again, go back and talk. I'll put it in the show notes. There's a whole episode that explains certification of hypnotists and not licensed.
Right.
But I don't want to get into that. So I got my certification as a hypnotherapist, hypnotist, and just started using that because I believe as a mental health professional, a lot of times, and it does, and I'm not downplaying talking. Talking is good. That's what we need to do in therapy. Some things you have to talk out, and it takes some time. But with hypnosis, a lot of times my approach is, let's not waste time. Let's just get right to the point and fix it. Let's just reprogram that subconscious thought pattern and make it better. Now, some things that doesn't work on, but so long story short, I got my start kind of doing it, and then I got more into it, and then I got interested into stage as things went along.
Gotcha.
So now, no epiphany or some great big, crazy thing.
Fair enough.
But that's that question. So, folks, that brings our show to a close. We will be back next time, and I'm going to have another good topic, but I didn't plan it ahead of time. So look for us next time. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. I will see you next time.